4 a.m. club, we were never wrong. We were just early. And I think it's time. I think it's about to go down. Okay, so listen. I have to walk you through step by step how I got here, okay? Because I can just tell you what I got, but it's the way it came to me and how it's been unfolding and all the little pieces have been coming together and what happened to me last night that I was finally like, oh shit, yeah, it's time. Now, however, we all got burnt before on January 20th, right? Right. So remember, we are doing radical accountability from here on out. I am a psychic medium. I am a trained professional. I have been doing this professionally from 9 years. My track record is impeccable, and yet we still got burned on January 20th. So these are just ideas. Manage your expectations. Don't get married to a date. Don't get married to an outcome. This is an idea. But if you like this idea, I want you to join me and put your energy behind manifesting this or better. Okay? Okay. So here's how it all came down. So listen, I've been out here since election night repeating myself. DJT would not be 47. We would get Madam President for the first time. So absolutely certain was I of this that I doubled down. I quadrupled down on this. But not only that, I got downpours of information that I've been sharing ever since then. And when Inauguration Day happened and we were all shocked as hell, I actually took it pretty well because you know what? I still knew we were right. And I just have this ease, this certainty, this knowing that one day it would all be proven. So we just needed to wait. Now, I've been patiently waiting on that, not talking about it much here on TikTok, not predicting much. But last Friday, the last day of February, I did a live psychic event where I tuned into the energies live. I did it like the world was my client. The month of March was my client. What are the energies coming through? What do we need to know? And I got a shit ton of information. Like an hour and a half, just boom, 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 boom. Now you can get the replay of that. It's on my my website. It's on my link in bio. It's called What's Coming Next. But I'm going to tell you the big highlights, the big bullet points of what I got and how they lead up to what I'm about to tell you. Now, right off the bat, I got that March is going to be explosive. It's going to be chaotic. But I got that it's going to be in both the best way for those who are ready and the worst way for people who are not standing on business. I got very clearly that all of us in the 4 a.m. club would begin to say, I told you so. And I also saw in Washington a group of Republican lawmakers being loaded into the paddy wagon. I also saw the Lotus Queen, Madam President, on a stage waiting in the wings, waiting for her time to come out. Now, as I said in that event, these are images that come through in metaphor to communicate a message. I'm not married to these as actual literal visuals that we'll now see physically. That's what comes with being clairvoyant, is that you see images that are both literal and metaphorical. So I said that repeatedly. However, I did keep asking Spirit, clarify. And so that's why hour and a half, all kinds of info came through. Now, something else I got in that event, which I did do a video on, is that I am feeling that there are some violent energies coming up this month. And I know that scares people, which is why I did a video, because I think lots of people are talking about it. I have never from the get-go seen nationwide upset or worldwide upset. I am not getting that at all, period. But I have been feeling for many months now that there would be small, localized areas. I've called it localized upset. And looking at Boston Talk last week, I was like, it's something like that feels like it has the potential to become something. So that's how I interpreted that. But after the event, I kept feeling like this was military in nature. And that made me nervous because. So I said to Spirit, all right, if that's a thing, and if it's a thing I need to be aware of, and if it's a thing I need to talk about, you got to give me more info. Before I believe that, before I share it, give me more info, please. Make it abundantly clear. So last night, I was woken up in the middle of the night, as one does. Not at 4 a.m., at 1 a.m., 1:03, and 1s and 3s are my angel numbers. And when I woke up, it was like it was all laid out right in front of me. I sat up in bed and boom, 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 I saw it. And what I saw has to do with old Uncle Joe. Remember his last speech before leaving office? Remember how somber and ominous it was? And remember how before leaving office, Biden made a flurry of executive orders that we in Blue Lulu Land have been analyzing and unpicking for months. And these are why collectively we were so certain that they would not inaugurate the Orange Man. In fact, I did a video specifically on January 17th where I unpacked one of these. And as I unpacked the executive order, I was getting massive downloads and chills and visions and confirmations from spirit. I was so certain at what I was seeing. And I rewatched that video this morning and like, yep, that's it. That's the plan. Among these executive orders, he extended the state of emergency. He put in place a temporary government. He even hired temporary workers. He set, two ravens, more of my signs. He set into motion a 30-day plan, 60-day, 90, 120-day plan. He essentially bookmarked the government as it was. The positions of power, everything as it was at that time, locked into this state of emergency. And then set forth the plan in the days rolling out. This is again why I was so certain that Inauguration Day would not happen the way we saw it happen. But something new came to me as I was woken up in the middle of the night. And that is Biden's speech to the military. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I think we all remember how ominous and somber that was. How he told them to remember their duty and uphold the Constitution. It did feel very much like he was preparing them and us for what was to come. Now, because in my readings and my conversations with Spirit, I have never gotten war. Can I say that word? W-A-R. I had never gotten that. But not only that, I had done 2 separate channeling sessions. They're on my website again, Full Woo, I don't remember which ones, 1, 2, and 3. And the Full Woo one was the one specifically where people were asking about the drones and the orbs and what's that about. And very specifically, the information was that our galactic family is here to ensure that that three-letter word is not going to happen. No one's going to push the nukes. This isn't going to erupt into worldwide hysteria. So that's why whenever other psychics or other people are talking about that 3-letter word, I'm like, but that's not happening. It's not what's going to happen. But then in the middle of the night, as I got all this information, I got to that piece about what he said to the military. That's when I knew. I believe that there is a military coup in the works to take the government back from the current regime. And although I see it being totally chaotic for the people who are in their sights, I do not see this as erupting into chaos for the population. I still feel a sense of safety, protection, peace, that everything that is being planned might even be so covert that we won't even see it. We won't even know that it's happening. And that's both for our safety to keep us calm, and because of those who have bought their way into government, those in other countries who've bought their way into this government, you all know who I'm talking about, so that they don't even know that it is happening and that it has happened. Now, one final thing that came up in my session last Friday, there were so many, but one final thing that I'm going to talk about in this video from my session on Friday. Someone asked if everything that this administration has done would be undone, and they said, immediately. It will be immediately undone. And they said, they used the word theoretical. Everything he did was theoretical. It wasn't real. It's as easy as pushing a button. And that certainly makes sense with this stay of government, state of emergency, what was done before leaving office. It all makes sense. Now, having said that, again, I'm going to remind you, we were so certain about January 20th. So it's not my responsibility to tell you what to think or what you feel. I'm putting an idea out there, and it is up to you to determine what to do with this idea. But by word of caution, as much as I fully believe, and I'm so freaking excited, I do want to remind you about tempering expectations, okay? We don't know when this is going to happen. We don't know how. I'm not even 1,000% certain that it will. I feel psychically certain, but as a human, I can't tell you, I can't guarantee that. So we're going to remember to stay grounded, to temper our expectations, to get disconnected from the how and the when. And we're going to put it in the hands of Spirit, and we're going to say this or better for the highest good of all. And there goes the ravens again, 2 more. So this witch and her 2 flying familiars, this is what we see happen for the month of March. What do you get? What do you think? Do you feel this to your core? Or is this not for you? That's okay too. What have you been getting? What do you see? What do you feel? I truly believe March is the month where everything changes. We're about to find out how much.